Hi, this is Natalie Lander, voice of Kinsey, Tara Branford, Stargirl, and many others. You are listening to a W2Mnet podcast. You can visit W2Mnet.com for other podcasts about entertainment, video games, sports, and wrestling. You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
Hello and welcome to Video Games to the Max, episode 236. And I am your host, Sean Garmer, here with me as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
And, well, I know you and Jens did a show last week, or I guess 6 days ago, technically.
Yep.
But, talked about a lot of stuff. We're not going to repeat the same stuff here, so no worries. I know that's sometimes when that happened before we did overlap some. I did try to make sure that we just talked about new stuff here, and no point of just rehashing the same thing. Especially since you already got to talk about it. That stuff's old now, so it is what it is. And a lot of breaking news. Well, it's not breaking, but basically very fresh news by the time you're listening to this, and just that it come out like really, really recently with Microsoft that actually puts your expectations for Series X even lower if you're wanting to get it at launch expecting a certain huge franchise that will not be there any longer, and other stuff with Microsoft that's been.
I assume you mean Link's the Time Sweeper.
Oh yeah, that game, that's the one. I've still been waiting to see if they would try to bring their not-so-beloved mascot back, but that is yet to happen. So
yeah.
But yeah,
still
go
wait.
check out... go ahead, sorry.
I said he's still waiting.
Yeah, he's still waiting for his time to come back into the spotlight. Definitely go listen to that Video Games to the Medium number 6 with Jens and Marc if you want to hear stuff from the last few weeks that Marc and I didn't get to touch on. Randy and I did do an Xbox Games Showcase episode that I did really quick before I started working that day that it happened. So lots of Xbox stuff here. We'll touch on some of the State of Play stuff. We're not going to go through the whole thing. That thing's almost a week old now. And some other things that have been going on. But you are now into your second week without your laptop, so I'm sure that's not
Almost third. Well, it's almost third. Yeah, now I'm on a 10-year-old desktop.
That's
so
fun.
I'm playing 10-year-old appropriate games like Spore and Command & Conquer 3 and original Halo.
Well, let's hope that your laptop makes it through.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like 20 minutes ago, Adam sent me a code for Rogue Legacy 2.
Wow, really?
And he sent me the PC version, and I tried to load it up, and it's like, nope. I mean, it loads, and I can technically play it, but it's playing like 5 frames a second.
Oh, really?
Like, well, I get the coverage on this one may be delayed for a little while.
That happens. I understand.
Yeah. But I've been playing a whole host of other crap. What about you?
I have not really been playing anything. I've been reading 1984 and watching. I've been keeping up with the Digimon show, and that's probably the most recent thing. Anything like new that I've been watching? I've been watching go ahead.
I was going to say, where are you in 1984?
Like chapter 8.
Okay. I've read that book a few times. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You should watch the movie afterward, because it's an interesting take on it.
Yeah, I don't think I knew a movie existed. I didn't,
Yeah.
And now I'll probably have to finish reading the book. I will, check it out. I didn't get to check out the, Peacock service for a little bit. I watched some Unsolved Mysteries on there. It works alright. It's a pain in the ass I have it, through, Xfinity. Having the Xfinity, so I didn't have to pay. But it's a pain in the ass to sign up. Like, the app doesn't work.
Most apps, like, it's like, oh, you have Comcast. You should just be able to sign right up. It's like, no, that almost never works correctly.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It said I already had an account. Then you go in and it has to create a password for you to log in the first time. Then you can change your password. And it's like, they could have made this a whole lot easier. Why are you going to let people to sign up through the app if it's going to be this pain in the butt? I had to do it through the browser in order for it to work. Aside for that, and then I think I rewatched like the first couple of episodes of Doctor Who so I can, I finally maybe finished this season that just ended. Whatever that I got halfway through and never finished.
The 11th or 12th one?
Well, the 11th, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, okay, you're still one behind.
Well, yeah, the first season with... with Jodie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So...
Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
We have some Doctor Who news to talk about later on, but yeah.
Yes, definitely. Well, you've been playing a whole host of things. Fall Guys has been in the news a ton. Yeah. So,
it's good.
How is that?
Me and Yins played it. He hated it. I really like it.
So why does he hate it?
He got, like, weirdly competitive about it. And he's like, well, I must finish first, or I must get all these trophies. It's like, who cares? Like, it's not... It's like a party game. Like, it's not meant to be taken, like, seriously.
Well, some people take their party games seriously. I mean, there's people that really got heavy into making sure they wanted to win Mario Party or
yeah, but that's like taking, like, you don't know Jack seriously. It's like, no, don't... defeats the purpose.
True. It's meant for you to have goofy things happen and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the game's basically like a mixture of, like, Mario Party mixed with, like, Gang Beasts, as far as control. Like, the controls are, like, jump and, like, kind of, not dodge, like, jump and grab, or jump and, slide. Or you do, like, a diving headbutt, essentially. That's about it. And you can, like, grab. And, yep. Every mission, there's like 5 rounds. Every round is kind of randomized. Some games are like races, but some are like more team-based, or some are like more like logic-based.
Yeah.
But it's free. It's on PS4. Like, it's basically following the Rocket League model.
That's why I saw their PC servers went down a lot.
Yeah, I guess it's been huge on there also. Which is interesting, because, I mean, that's what you have to pay for. I think it's like $20, but...
Yep.
I think it's a pretty low barrier of entry. So and also, there's not a ton like it on PC, necessarily. Like, kind of PC is generally a more, I wouldn't say adult, but like a little more focused game, like, platform for games. So, like, having kind of like a fun party game is kind of nice. And yeah, every match is supposed to have 60 players, and then it whittles it down round by round until there's one left. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's, it's cute and kind of jaunty. It has really good music, I think. It's colorful, and yeah, I like it. I don't think I'll get, like, too serious into it, but it'd be nice to win once or twice. I get to win one. I've gotten to the last stage a few times, but I get creamed on that one.
Yeah, I love the people that are, like, just getting so upset at the fact that the servers go down, or...
Yeah, when Yins and I tried, we had some server instability happen a few times. Like, the server wouldn't, like, load. Like, the first time we tried it, we were in, like, a party, and that game's really not built for team members or team parties or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because it'd be nice if it kind of was a little more geared towards that, or had different, like, games. But, like, we hit load, and, like, it started loading, but it just got stuck. So it was just, like, forever loading. And we let it go for, like, 30 minutes, and then I'm like, wait, something's wrong. Like, we just kept saying, like, find me more players. And I'm like, well, if it hasn't found more players by now, something happened. So we bounced out and bounced right back in, then it was, like, fine. But there was, like, 1 or 2 times where he got booted from the game, or...
Yeah, I mean, I know that's annoying, but I think people still need to remember this is like an indie game that has all of a sudden gotten a huge amount of fame. And
yeah, it's like, what game launches, has a big launch that's online focused that actually plays correctly or plays smoothly? Like, none of them. At least not for a while.
Yeah, it's very rare that happens. I think with Rocket League, it was on PS4, which is a whole different beast than PC servers, you know?
Also, Rocket League, I mean, it's a 8-player game. I think it's like 4v4. Like, this says 60 players. So, I imagine it's a tad more difficult to do than 8.
Exactly. It's, I think people need to cut it some slack sometimes and just say, like, stop acting like there is no other games out there to play. Like, good lord.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be alright, folks.
Yep.
I know you've gotten to get try your hand there at Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I finished that actually a few nights ago.
Okay.
That was good. I'd probably give it like an 8. I didn't 100% it. I cleared like, I don't know, at least half of it. Like I did most of the main stories and did my fair share of like, you know, bases and stuff.
Did it like not make you want to keep going for a certain reason, or just?
No, I mean I'll get to it eventually, but now like the great driving factor is gone, so it's somewhat more relaxed now. Like I don't have to like try to find like a last gold piece to upgrade my sword or anything. And like the rest of the stuff is all just busy work, like just clearing bases or doing the stupid fox dens or stuff like that. So it's not like, it's not like hugely pivotal for me to do.
Right.
I mean, that is like an old style Assassin's Creed game, which is what I actually like.
Well, I mean, that's why I figured you would have, been really loving it. I guess, is there like a reason you're not, I guess, rating it higher than me?
Combat never really gets, like, you get upgrades, but they're so meaningless. You have like different stances that I never did, basically. Like you have like, oh, this stance is for shield guys, or this stance is for brutes, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna stick with this one stance and own everyone with that one. Like,
right.
I guess on Jens's game, he said like the game kept bugging him to change stances, and I was like, that happened like once or twice in my game, but that was about it. Like, it didn't keep after me. Like a lot of the upgrades are just kind of pointless. It's a very repetitive game. I mean, that's kind of the problem, is like nothing really changes. It's not like you're getting like a ton of new crap along the way. You get some stuff, like I eventually was able to turn my sword on fire, or stuff like that. But yeah, it's still doing the same thing you always do.
Fair enough.
Also, like, there's like no morality in the game, which is really interesting.
Yeah, especially for a Sucker Punch game.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of set up like your uncle is the honorable one, and your friend Yuna is like the dishonorable thief, and like she's the one who like sways you to like her viewpoint. But the game itself doesn't do anything. Like, it's not like, oh, you took out this face honorably, like, you get honorable moves, or you did more ninja shit. So
I thought it did change how people react to you.
Not really. I mean, if it does, it's so slight that it doesn't matter. Let's say that.
Okay.
And I think I saw something about like, oh, if you're more dishonorable, the weather changes. It's like, that's not important. Like, who cares? You can control the weather with your flute anyway, like with any good video game. So, it doesn't matter if it's more stormy. Like, you can just hit the sun song and it'll be fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How is that Crysis Remastered on Switch?
It's playable. I haven't played it that much. There's some weird...
That doesn't sound endorsing.
No, I mean, it's technically impressive that they've managed to put it on a Switch. It looks fine. Right. There's some weird graphical corruption here and there. Like the intro movie, or the intro, like, sequence, like, you're basically, like, parachuting onto the island, and, like, the water was, like, shimmering in and out of existence. Or, like, shimmering, like, in a really weird way, and I'm like, what's going on here?
I guess maybe they hope people wouldn't notice that, since it's just water.
Yeah, but I mean, you're on an island, so, or it's like kind of dead set on the island, so it's like, oh, alright, this is odd looking. Like, I don't have a ton of nostalgia, or I didn't play a lot of Crysis 1. I think they got rid of the power wheel. I think that was part of that game. So now, like, Cloak is on, like, the RB button, essentially, on the Switch Pro Controller, and Armor's on like, LB, which is probably better. Like, you're not having, like, activate speed mode, you just start running and it happens automatically. Or you just like click in the stick. It's fine, it's Crysis. I mean, I don't have a ton of nostalgia for that game. I like Crysis 2 more personally. But it's more open than you would think, and it plays fine technically, I guess, aside from like a few weird graphical issues.
Well, that's still good.
Yeah,
being on the Switch, that they got it to play
right
fairly well.
I guess I watched like the Digital Foundry review of it, and I guess it's like actually does run better than like the PS3 and 360 versions because it's like on a newer.
I would hope it would.
Well, it's not like a newer version of the Cry engine. It's not like perfect compared to the PC, but it looks fine or it looks good. It runs damn sure better than that Doom port they did.
Yeah. Anything else any other game you want to talk about before we?
Yeah, the last one I got was Saints Row 3 Remastered. I got it from Natalie, which is cool. Like, she signed it and sent it to me, which is nice.
Yeah, I saw the picture you posted. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Me and Jens have been playing it, because that's our next big co-op game. It's fun. We're like only like an hour or two in, but that game holds up really well. It's...
Sorry.
I have like the non-good TV, but apparently on like Jens's PS4 Pro it looks really nice.
I bet, yeah. I mean, just from seeing like videos of it, I was like, wow, you look at the comparison, it looks amazing, so.
Yeah. It's not like janky like the original game was in spots. Yeah, we'll probably play a lot more of that as the weeks go on, because he wants to 100% it, and I'm pretty game for that.
Hey, better than doing a Resident Evil 6 100%.
God, yes. Or you just beat Code Vein also. Like, that was we did it like last night. It's like, we gotta get rid of this fucking game. And that last boss was in my game, and I was like pretty underleveled. Like, so we spent like at least a good half hour kind of trying to bash our heads against it. Like, try not to die over and over.
That's always joyful.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not level enough, so we'll just have to try to beat this thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And like, well, I was like level 130, or like maybe like 140. I mean, Jens's character is like the max level, but it does that stupid Dark. Well, like the max level is like 300, I think. That's what he said. But it does that stupid Dark Souls thing where when you join someone's game, it scales you back down to like appropriate to where they are. I think he's like 5 levels above me. So if I'm like 140, he's like 145. That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
It's like the whole point. I mean, that's what you want. Is you want someone who's like really high level to come in to start dusting everyone. And also,
I guess they want to make it competitive or whatever.
Yeah, but who cares? I mean, and also, when you join someone's game, I think you have like basically 10. You can get up to 10 potions, for health regeneration. It gets halved, so he can join my game with 5.
Well, hey, that's good.
No, it's not.
What? No, it's not? What?
Because, if you want, he should be able to join with all the stupid potions.
I mean, that's part of the competitive, though, I guess. If you're going to lower your level there, I mean, if they also leave you on max potions, you're also kind of like...
Well, I mean, no. It should be either or. I mean, he should either have, like, max level and have limited potions, or be around my level, but have the same amount of potions that I do.
Right.
Instead of cripple them in both ends. But, yep, that's about it for me. I doubt you want to hear about my spore adventures.
We can leave that for another time, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to this here. So the big shocking news that hit... big shocking news that hit today, because we know for sure the Xbox Series X and PS5, for all we know, are both hitting in November. And then the Series X's big game, even though, yes, it is coming to Xbox One and PC, and it's going to be on Game Pass and all that. The big game that you're buying your Series X for is Halo Infinite, and it is now delayed, mostly due to, the issues that come from COVID and now having to work at home, and your game is not near finished like some of these other games that, the big games that Sony has put out. They were kind of near the end when we had to start shifting, or everything had to start shifting to work from home. I don't know how much the showcase backlash has to do with this. I mean, I'm sure that there is some of that. I just don't think it's like all base because of that.
I actually asked Jens that question. He doesn't think it's a factor at all. I think it might be like a small one, but I think
it certainly does allow them to, help with that. I just don't know how much they're going to be able to make that look better when that game is going to also be on Xbox One.
Yeah, and it's also like they can't just completely like redo the graphics within 6 months or whatever. Like that's not going to happen. And also, I mean, the problem is that they're working on a.
Well, I mean, they could now also have ray tracing at launch, which that was going to be added in a patch later. So that's something that could help certainly for the Series X version.
I mean, one big problem is like they're working in basically a 15-year-old game's art style still, or damn near 20 at this point.
Well, that's part of the wanting it to feel like the vibe I got when I watched the showcase is they really wanted that to look a lot like Halo 1.
Yeah.
Like they're going back to basics. Like we're redoing Halo, and this is now 343 going forward. We're not trying to take on. I mean, yes, it is a sequel, but they're also sort of rebooting it. So like we're gonna make it feel like Halo you remember, but we also want to add in things, and I think that art style is sort of part of it, though. Right.
Like, yeah, you just can't. I mean, if you're gonna try to harken back to that era, like, of course, it's gonna look kind of shitty. Like, I mean, no offense, but yeah, like the nice thing. I mean, say what you want about Gears of War, but those games evolved from a visual standpoint. Like Gears 5 looks vastly different from the original Gears.
Oh yeah, certainly it does.
Them going like, oh, we're gonna go back to basics. It's like, no, you should be evolving this art style, not reverting to or degenerating from it. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to how far into 2021 that game does wind up coming out. I do really want them to take their time with it because that is the game that I think anybody that's excited about Xbox, that's the game you grew up on. That's the game that probably you remember playing with your friends, whether it was Halo 1 or 2 or whatever. And I think it's, I'd hate for their big, huge franchise that everybody's been waiting for 343 to fix, I guess, if there's not a better word for it. And then it comes out rushed and bad as well. Yeah, so take your time with it, 343, and hopefully it makes it a much better game than what it is in its current state. What this does do is if you look at what's coming for the Series X at launch, you now no longer have that. Again, it's not exclusive, but you now no longer have that big tentpole title that wasn't previously released. Yeah.
Because the thing is, except for Halo, or except for the original Xbox, there has been a Halo launch game. Like the 360 didn't. 360 didn't have it. That was like a year later. The Xbox One for damn sure didn't have it.
Right, but I'm talking about like, okay, as far as like your major games from Microsoft franchises, you're offering games that have either come out last year or, in the case of Ori, came out this year, and Ori's going to look awesome on Series X, and if you're waiting for Series X to play it, then certainly that's worth it, but I'm saying, like, now you're looking at, okay, you'll have console Gears Tactics, which I don't know how much better that's going to look because it's a tactics.
Not really.
It's a tactics view, know. It's going to look cool in the cutscenes and everything, but, I mean, like, you're looking at Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, they're going to look better, but those are games you probably already played. Destiny 2 as well. So you're looking at things that are third parties that you could also get on your current systems that you have right now, or on PS5 or PC, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the Yakuza game, Watch Dogs, Legion, Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk's going to be like the one, I guess, big game that you could say will play like the upgraded version of the Xbox One game, I guess. And then like you're looking at stuff like The Medium and Scorn and Tetris Effect Connected, which again, Tetris Effect you could have already played. But like Medium and Scorn, I think are going to be good games, maybe great games, but they're not games that I'm buying a Series X for this.
Sure. I mean, let's face it, most console launches are bad.
PS5 doesn't look that much better.
I mean, Spider-Man will be cool, but that's kind of a expansion, more than like a whole new game, it sounds like. I don't think that Ratchet & Clank game is launch, or
No, it's not. I
Yeah,
think right now the only thing they have confirmed is like the Kena Bridge of Spirits and the Spider-Man game and like maybe a few other things. Like, you know, Horizon is launch window, so
I mean, yeah, every system pretty much launches bad. I mean, there's like a few here and there that are decent, but
yeah, Switch is the most recent example of yes, it launched with a great game, you know.
Wow, Mario.
Well, Zelda.
Well, Zelda, no, because Zelda was Wii U also. I mean, that's a...
Well, but I mean, it was a reason why you're buying the Switch. I mean, most people didn't own the Wii U.
Zelda ran better on the Switch, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about, like, exclusive, like, whole exclusive games. Like, the last good launch I can think of, like, Dreamcast. Maybe 360, yes. I liked what the 360 had, personally, but...
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if this proves Microsoft's point of, do they really, with Game Pass, with everything, is this what you're now putting all your eggs in that basket of, okay, we're gonna have to do something with Game Pass whenever we give it away for a year for free, or 6 months for free, or...
well, it doesn't help that I think they said that, like, a lot of their... It was during that Xbox conference when they weren't really saying, like, hey, you can play all these games on your Xbox One X.
Well, they said everything that got shown today is going to be on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, but they didn't say Xbox. They didn't say that'll be also playable on Xbox One X. That's the thing. It'll be in the program, sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be on the Xbox One X. You know, playable on the old stuff. I mean, that was like their whole pitch.
Most of that stuff was, I think.
Well, that was their whole pitch. You know, you don't need an Xbox Series X for 2 years because everything will be cross-compatible or cross-playable. It's like, no, then why would you buy an Xbox One X? Why not wait 2 years then until it gets good?
Well, also the fact that they've already kind of sort of announced that they were this was going to be their big August. The reason why they were going to have a thing in August, or part of their Gamescom thing, was they were going to announce the Series S.
Yeah.
It's already sort of been hinted at by Microsoft that it does exist, but now a controller leak has basically revealed that it for sure exists, and, you know, if it follows the same idea as the Series S, that means this is going to be not like the PS5 digital, which is basically the PS5, but with no hard drive. This is going to be a much, less technical box, probably much more powered by the X-Cloud Game Pass thing, which giving somebody something affordable right now with the way things are going, with, COVID and everything, is not the worst idea in the world.
Sure.
How much it really helps Microsoft, I don't know. I saw a huge debate online that I myself actually had happen, but we're also talking about 2000, 2003, where consumer research was not anywhere near as available as it is right now. So, for me, my stepmom and my dad, for that matter, are not gaming people. My dad would buy my dad basically bought, after the Super Nintendo, I never got a Genesis, but once 64 came out, what he did was he just bought every game system that came out.
Yeah.
So, I got the 64, I got the PS1, I got the Dreamcast, and then when it came time for the PS2 and I got an Xbox first, the original Xbox. Then when it came time for the PS2 and because all my friends had one, so I really, really wanted the Xbox to play Halo with them and all that. So, when the PS2 and GameCube came around, I remember specifically asking, I wanted a PS2 because of the SmackDown game and I think some sports games or whatever. My stepmom went and got a GameCube, which,
thing.
It's not the same thing, right? And so she goes, well, this is a game thing. What do you care, right? And I'm like, it's not what I asked for. And so,
it's like you ask for an Audi and instead you get, a Ford.
Right. So, my dad said, of course, my dad has the means to be able to do that, to just say, you don't need to go take the GameCube back to get him a PS2.
Yeah.
And get him the games he wants. But, like, the point that I was making was, and this is in an era where people didn't just go online and research, right? Now people have the ability to get on anything on their phone, press a couple of buttons, and you can go on a website and see a comparison between... Yeah.
Sure, but here's the problem, is, like, there are, PS1, or anything called PS1, PlayStation 2, there is a clear delineation between one has a number over it. It's like the successor. Like, they have the Xbox One, they have the Xbox One X, they have the Xbox One S.
Yeah.
And now they have, the Series X, and now the Series S. It's like, why didn't you give it fucking new letters at least?
Yeah,
it's like
I get it
Well, it's the same as the Wii and the Wii U. It's like, how much market confusion there was with that? Because they did it themselves?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very confusing. I think Microsoft is counting on the people doing, research. There is still a lot of people that don't give a crap. They're going to walk into a store and they're going to have somebody explain to them what this is.
Yeah, they're just going to say, hey, I want the Xbox. And, some Best Buy goober will try to give them, like, the cheap one or something.
Yeah, I do wonder if this is what really does help, like, Game Pass or whatever, and Microsoft can be they're already saying they're going to be agile with the Series X price. I wonder if they'll be extremely agile with the Series S price and make it like an incredible deal that, that really helps in this time period where, hey, I want to be able to play these games that are coming out, which, I don't know how much that will affect things after the 2-year period.
Right.
Do we still have to be making games for the Series S as well? Then, in fact, you never really get Series X quality games that winds up happening. So that's something to think about too. But I wonder if this really helps Microsoft be consumer friendly at all.
Go on. Well, I mean, if they price well, it's fine. But I just think like they should call like the Series K or the Series whatever, like. Or give it a number.
I would, that's what I thought they would have done. I thought they would have just gone with Xbox 2 or something at that point.
Well, they're still hung up that like PlayStation is a higher number. They think that that's why the 360 is called the 360. It's like, the PlayStation 3, ours is 360. It's 357 more than that. I mean, that was a dumb marketing thing for that thing. But it's like, or it's called like a name, like a project name, like Xbox Scorpio or Xbox.
Yeah,
Dolphin.
Scorpio wouldn't have been bad. I mean, like at least you would have been able to clearly tell someone, "Oh, Scorpio is the next one."
Yeah, I said it. Yeah. Like, imagine you telling your dad, and he doesn't like know or care. Hey, I want an Xbox X for Christmas. He just goes into the store, sees like the Xbox One X, and buys that one because it's not. You didn't say like. Series X or whatever. It's because like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I wonder, and that's why I think that they went in and discontinued. I think that's the major reason why they went in and discontinued the One X and probably gonna be the One S and all that. All that stuff's gonna get discontinued because they don't want that market confusion.
But that is a short-sighted move when the better move would have just been to rename the fucking console in the first place into something actually unique.
This naming convention with them is just weird.
Call it the Star Road. An old Nintendo GameCube.
Right? I don't know. I hope good things for Microsoft. I hope that Game Pass maybe does push some people into... Maybe some parents that see that and go, wait, they get 100 games for $15 a month and I don't have to buy this $60 game with the system or whatever. Like, I think that might turn some people's heads that can do that research and are looking for something, to play, to give their kids for Christmas or whatever. But I still think, Sony with PlayStation 5, people are going to show out that money. Because it's a PlayStation 5 and they have their PS4s already. I don't know how much you got. I don't want to get too much in this because I'm sure you guys talked about it for a while on the last show. But a lot of people gave Sony flack for their thing with the PS4 controllers won't work.
Oh yeah, we talked about it for a minute. I think it's dumb. Well, for one, most consoles, like the next console, like the controllers don't work. Like.
Yeah, and at least they're making it to where you can play your PS4 games with those PS4 controllers still.
Also, I mean, if you look at, I don't know, well, I don't think you looked at the controller box of that leak, but like, the differences between the new Xbox One Series X controller and the current Xbox One controller are, like,
nothing.
It has a better
the share button, right?
Yeah, it has an extra button, and, you know, it's like a better D-pad, and that's it. And it's like, hell, I mean, I don't particularly like all the new PS5 controller functions, but at least they're trying to evolve. Like, at least there's a reason to buy, like, a PS5 controller, or, you know.
Well, one comes with the console. Like, I get it, though. Like, controllers are $60 investments now. But, you know, but... And that's a big deal, because it's a decision between buying a game or buying another controller.
Sure.
You know, and I get it. People who don't have a lot of money, and for me, I haven't bought a second controller for any of my systems because of that.
I bought one for my PS4 because it was like really on sale one day at GameStop, but that's about it.
Yeah, but like I hate it because I have thought about it sometimes. Of man, this is a game like Fall Guys, you know, that I might want to have an eye to play.
It only has online, I think.
But like, okay, let's say it did have co-op.
Well, yeah, just a multiplayer game in general. Like if you could do local co-op or
it's a thing that happens, right? And so, like the Switch, that was the great idea with the Switch. All I have to do is just take my one Joy-Con off and give the other Joy-Con to my friend, and it starts working. So, and they can play
until the Joy-Con starts breaking.
Right, until the Joy-Con starts drifting and all that. But I'm just like. I think, and even then, like, okay, I bought the Pro Controller. Well, Anaya can actually just put both the Joy-Cons into the grip, and she has another controller. A full controller. Like, so I just think it's, you know, I had to pay my $60 for that controller, but I bought it at launch, and it was something I wanted because I didn't know how the Joy-Cons were I didn't know that I was gonna wind up playing my Switch 98% of the time portable. But, like, I'm just saying, it is something that people value, and I think having all these ways for people to get into your ecosystem is good, but I just wonder if you have too much and then also like Halo's not coming out with it, is it really going to hurt Microsoft when it comes to launching? You know?
I think so, but yeah, it's just me, and I'm pretty down on the Series X as a whole right now. But I mean, also, but the PS4 stuff, at least the everything else works, or most everything else works.
Yeah, most of the peripherals are going to work.
I'm kind of honestly shocked the camera's going to work.
Yeah, I was surprised too, especially with them making a new camera. But yeah, I guess they.
Well, I think they're like sending out parts or like the adapter or whatever. I'm sure if you have like at least 2 or more PSVR games, like, all right, this guy has a camera somewhere, so. Or you fill out like some form somewhere.
That's fair enough.
I didn't mention to you. I told this also, but I bought or I pre-ordered an analog pocket.
I have no idea what that is, but
it's the new analog handheld system. It's a Game Boy. It plays Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and then you can buy adapters for Game Gear, Atari Lynx, and Neo Geo Pocket.
Nice.
The pre-order came out on the 11th, or on the this Monday, or on the 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
Last week. It's $200.
That's not bad, I guess.
You can also hook it up to a TV with this dock, which is $100 extra, which I also bought. But
that's about the same price as the thing we're about to talk about. So go ahead.
But the pre-order lasted 11 minutes.
Damn.
It sold out, like, almost damn near instantly.
Well, yeah, if you're able to play that many things, of course, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
And I imagine, like, the other analog systems will be hacked open soon enough, so that'll be a lot more fun to play with. But it's coming out, like, May next year now, because of
COVID. It's better that it comes out when they can make sure it's going to work well.
Yeah, it looks really nice, so I'm excited. But go on, sorry.
Yeah, just to end things with Microsoft here, I was one of the people that was really pro the announcement of Microsoft bundling X-Cloud into Game Pass and putting that into that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which makes that an even bigger deal. Giving people the ability to play on your phone is an amazing thing, and that your PS4 controllers are going to work with it. That's pretty cool too. But not many people make sure that they're, one of the things going back to Rock Band is that they made sure the Guitar Hero controllers worked. Not many people make sure their competitors' controllers work with something. So, going back to that whole Microsoft as being very consumer friendly thing, they did that with xCloud, which I'm definitely going to try out with my phone. Because I was sitting there going, man, I don't want to buy a Bluetooth Xbox controller for this. So, and then I looked up the price to make it into a Switch. It costs $100. I'm like, nope, not doing that either. So, to see if maybe I can get my PS4 controllers to work with it, that's pretty cool. So, maybe then I'll try out the games with it. But either way, my point here in this is that Apple is once again being the stewards of just basically being anti-competitive. I don't buy this whole thing of we have to vet every single game that comes through on this service and all this stuff that they're doing. If you would have done that, then why did you allow the game preview to be there then? There's really no difference between the preview and the allowing it. Oh wait, they have to pay $15? Like, there is a rating system on those games already. You don't need to go through and rate it yourself as well. Right? It's just, that's absolute BS to me. And it just reads as, we don't want to say that basically we're scared that now people won't actually buy games on our store. They'll just want to play games on Xbox Game Pass instead. So,
Also, Steam Link exists in the App Store.
Yeah, it's like Steam Link exists in the App Store. You don't vet every movie that's on Netflix. I think their reasoning is dumb, and all they're doing is hurting iOS users that don't get to have that experience. Because,
but then it'll drive them to the Android phone, so that's fine.
I think it's dumb, and it doesn't help. I think it'll eventually get resolved. I think it will have to take some pressure from people, but...
Or Microsoft just pays Apple a bunch.
Yeah, but I don't think if Microsoft wanted to pay Apple a bunch, they would have done it already. I don't think that they're going to just do it eventually.
Well, not unless, we'll see what happens when the app actually launches, but, not unless there's, zero adoption on Android, and
I don't think that's going to be not the case.
I don't think it'll be the big case either, but look at, how much adoption there'll be Android versus Android and iOS. iOS is, I think, still the biggest, I think the iPhone's still the biggest cell phone.
Well, that's here in the U.S., and a lot of other places, Android is still the biggest cell phone.
Oh, yeah. But
it's launching in 22 markets, so,
but they're going to care what, the adoption rate in, Belgium. They're going to, they care about the adoption rate here, Japan, and maybe the UK, or, England as a whole, but they're not looking we have good adoption in Germany, but not good adoption in France.
Well, yeah, they're an American company. They're going to care a lot about what the adoption rate is here, but I'm just saying that I wonder if fandom could maybe strong-arm Apple more than I think Microsoft is willing to just go
I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's never worked before with Apple.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. First of all, it has to be something worth strong-arming for. I have heard good things. I've seen most people that have gotten to use it. It apparently works well. Works a lot better than Stadia. But
anything does.
Yeah, but I did see some people apparently do have issues with it. But of course, I don't know where they live, and I don't know what kind of internet they have either.
Right.
But finally, moving on from I guess might as well just go ahead and put this in here as well. Forza Horizon 3 is going to be delisted in September. This has been done before. Forza Horizon 2 got delisted. Forza Motorsport 6 got delisted. Wonder, this happens. It sucks.
Apparently
that
it's some license thing or something, or they only have the rights to cars for 4 years.
That's weird, though.
Or it's probably cars and music, probably.
Yeah, I just never got I get it that now now you have to license the cars and everything, but it's a racing game.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'll probably buy it actually. It's on sale, and it's $10 for the game.
Right.
So, I like Horizon 4 a lot. So.
Oh, the Forza Horizon games are all pretty good. Thankfully, it's not the most recent one, but still, I'm sure there's people that
Horizon 4
were fans there. Well, this is 3. That's the one that's getting delisted.
Horizon 4 has 2 years left,
And Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been delayed to 2021. I'm not really going to be shocked by more games getting delayed at this point, due to, what's going on. Not everybody is well equipped for the working from home environment, so.
There are, to my mind, there are basically 3 big games left for this year. Cyberpunk, Watch Dogs, and Assassin's Creed. And I'm going to say at least 2 of those are going to get delayed.
I feel like Watch Dogs, with everything they've shown, man, they've shown a lot. And as well as Cyberpunk just got another Night City Wire that showed a lot, and it looks really good, and the Night City Wire 3 is about to come out, so I think they're just showing so much of that game, that'd be just weird for it to get delayed again.
Sure, but stranger things have happened. Let's just look at Halo.
Yeah, but Halo, we've gotten what? That little gameplay snippet?
3 or 4 years. Same with Watch Dogs.
I know, but at least Watch Dogs showed a lot of gameplay in those. Yeah,
but they showed a lot of the same gameplay they showed last year, or 2 years ago, when they announced this stupid thing.
I feel like Ubisoft stuff, especially just to take away from all the other crap that's been going on, they're going to make sure at least one of those games come out.
I think it'll be Assassin's Creed between the two, but yeah.
So Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has been delayed. Good to see that they have a lot more quality, a quality bar that they want to hit with it. They want to deliver the best game, all the stuff that you expect to hear.
Yeah, the old chestnuts.
The stuff that's going on obviously doesn't make good for making games or making anything at this point. It's been amazing that we have gotten as many games as we have this year, regardless of that. So. Yeah, it was about time.
It's funny you say that, because I just did a column about the top 8 games of 2020 so far, and that was kind of scraping some of the bottom of the barrel. It's
okay.
But it's a result of just so many games got delayed or pushed back that
And we did get a lot of remasters and ports and stuff too.
Sure.
So and there's still some other, Crash is going to be probably well received. I'm sure that's going to come out in October, so.
Yeah.
Dante is, we discussed this when we talked about the remaster, the Shin Megami Tensei III Nocturne Remaster. Would he be part of it? And he is, going to be part of the release.
That was
as part of a downloadable pack. Oh, that was part of the. Okay, yeah.
The unfinished podcast.
That was the unfinished podcast that we never got to finish. Yeah, that's right.
My internet at the time was basically shorting out, kept dying on me. And Comcast, a guy came out from Comcast, and he cut open the line, and water came out.
Wow.
That's not good. So he actually ran a new wire, a cable wire from my room to the outside.
Well, I'm glad you got that fixed.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Even if it's, I don't think it'd be more than $5, but it's cool. I like Dante in that game quite a bit, and I thought it was a really cool crossover between 2 unrelated franchises.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if they included more characters. They won't, because that requires more work, but.
Well, maybe if it sells well, they will. Who knows?
Yeah. Include Joker from Persona 5, or something like that.
It'd be surprising if they didn't try to do some
Kratos.
kind of Persona thing in there. I don't know about Kratos, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, Kratos for the Sony version and Mario for the Nintendo one.
Well, I'm trying to think of another Japanese.
Fire Emblem for Nintendo.
No, like from Sony's end, that they like Japanese character that they could use, like somebody from, like put Cloud in it or something.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be Lightning instead.
Yeah. Speaking of PlayStation, I'm not gonna go through everything here. This is almost a week old now, and I think we can just talk about some of the things we liked.
Yeah, the bigger stuff.
Crash Bandicoot 4, it's what I expected. It looks good. It's cool that they're getting another character that you can play as. I think one of the things that I was super excited for Spelunky 2, so I'm glad that got time there. The Pathless looked cool to me. It was one of the few PS5 games shown. And they made a much better use of the Falcon than that Falcon Age game.
For some reason, I got a real Shadow of the Colossus vibe from that Pathless game.
Definitely. I did too. I got that vibe from it. Hey, that game's great. So, and a game that can make you feel those kind of vibes is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bug Snacks, I'm totally down for. So more Bug Snacks, cool. They showed some other things that, like, I still don't think that Godfall is...
No, they keep positioning that game, like, I think it was this conference, I think the Xbox conference had it also, and, like, one other past conference, they're like, oh, this is the last game, is Godfall, and it's like, why do you keep doing this? Like, you want to leave people with a happy feeling, not a depressed one. Or
they really try with this, too, and it's like, okay, yeah... No, the PlayStation conference had them with the electronic music or whatever, trying to make it seem all cool and everything, and I was like, this is the most video game thing y'all could have done. Like,
it's like,
no.
What's the last step is when they say, here's the new character, and it's a Duke Nukem.
Yeah. And then they're having to put in all those, like, catchphrases or whatever while the character's doing stuff on screen. I was like, why? Do you not have much faith in your game at all that you're having to do stuff like this? This is dumb. It's sad to see the thing with Aeon Must Die had a lot of controversy, because I liked the look of that game.
It reminded me of the Bastion, or that team.
Yeah. Super Giant, or...
Yeah, Super Giant. It reminded me of one of their games, like, their second game, the not good one, I forget what it's called.
Transistor?
Yeah, it reminded me of that one.
Yeah, it has a lot of those vibes, I agree. If you don't know the controversy with Aeon Must Die, it's that, supposedly the developers that worked at Limestone Games had a terrible work environment, and that apparently Limestone Games, like, the top heads cared more about being, like, the heads of a company than actually running the company well and, like, making the game, and the developers are claiming, the people that work there claim that, like, basically those figureheads own the license, so they just, like, stole the game from them.
Right.
And, yeah, Focus Home Interactive even had to come out with a statement saying that that's their problem, not ours. I mean, they could have come out with something that was worded a little bit better than that, but...
That was the funny bit. They're like, this is all on them. Like, whatever they want to do.
Like, don't smash our name with them. Like, so... That's, and of course, I'll give Temtem the thumbs up. Definitely cool to see that got some hype as a PS5 game. So, yeah. I was surprised Braid got a anniversary edition. Yeah. I was like, okay.
I never got into Braid. I don't know about you. I played I played up to the second world, I think, but I'm just like, this isn't really clicking with me.
That's about where I played it till. Just because there was other stuff I was playing at the time, but I definitely got why people really enjoyed it and stuff,
Yeah. I thought Control looked decent because Alan Wake's coming back.
Yes, that's what I'm excited about. And they confirmed that apparently that other AAA game that they're making actually is in that world of Control and Alan Wake as well.
Yeah.
So, yes, totally down for Remedy just mixing it all up. Love it. Love it.
Sadly, I didn't get Max Payne in there.
Well, yeah. I don't know. You'd think maybe I wonder how much they would have to pay Rockstar Steven.
I don't think that much, because like it's not like Max Payne 3 did particularly well. I didn't like
maybe if Remedy keeps making money.
I didn't like the gameplay of Max Payne 3, like to begin with.
Yeah.
But like the story was bad, or like the writing was bad.
I enjoyed the gameplay of Max Payne 3. I don't remember a ton about the story, but yeah.
I didn't like that. Like they really de-emphasized like the Max Payne mechanics, like the whole like dodging around, shooting crap. So
definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't. Didn't feel like the bullet time was that important.
Right. It's like why? I mean, at that point, why call it Max Payne? Why not just create like a new character or a new franchise? GTA, South American Tale or something like that.
Yeah, that's what that felt like too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought the conference, it was good, and most of what they showed was gameplay, which...
I thought that pedestrian game was pretty cool, actually.
Oh yeah, that's the one that had like the stick figures?
Yeah, like running like N+ or something, but you're like making paths for characters to like walk through in like signs. So this is an interesting idea.
I like that Anno game as well.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention is, I guess it's like confirmed that like Rocksteady is making a Suicide Squad game, and it's like, please don't. This is going to be really depressing.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, again, I want to say that apparently Sony is going to show more stuff here at the end of August with the Gamescom stuff, but I think for the most part, State of Play was pretty good, and yeah, I know Rocksteady finally announced their game they were working on, which
Suicide Squad, Thingamabob.
That's what's so weird. It's like the Suicide Squad movie came out a while ago, and then now we're announcing this game, and I think the thing I've seen more people be is like, I want to be the Justice League, not fight against the Justice League, but...
Well, like the one thing they've shown is like a bullseye on Superman's head.
Yeah.
Or some Superman-looking dude, let's say that. And it's like, if the premise of the game is you hunting Superman or you fighting the Justice League, it's like, who in the Suicide Squad has powers? You know? It's like between the crazy chick, a guy with good aim, and a guy who throws boomerangs, there's not exactly a lot of power behind these characters.
Yeah, it came as a, like, weird thing, but hey, you know what? Rocksteady does make some good, they made the really good Batman games, so who knows? It could surprise and be good.
How much Harley Quinn do you think will be in that game? That is what I'm truly dreading.
Probably quite a bit, considering...
All of it? You'll be playing as her?
Yeah, they'll probably...
I just think that character's been massively overexposed, and I want nothing to do with the character anymore, personally.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I guess audiences agreed with me based on that last Suicide Squad, or that Harley Quinn movie that came out.
I don't know that necessarily was... It was just really poorly promoted as well. It was... I mean, I've seen a lot of people that like wound up watching the movie and liked it. I never got around to seeing it yet, but...
I know the reviews are like not terrible, but it's just... I just don't care.
Yeah.
Give me another Shazam movie. Like, I'd be more interested in that than a Harley Quinn movie.
Man, I think Shazam came with like so low expectations that like people did not expect it to be good that, Yoshinori Ono is leaving Capcom. Of course, he's been involved with Street Fighter for freaking so long, since the, early 90s. And it just kind of just out of nowhere. He didn't really give a reason either as to why. He just decided.
Well, he said "Oh, I want New Blood to take over Capcom or take over the fighting game division," or I mean, I see this. That guy's been around, like you said, for like 30 years. I mean, his first game at Capcom was Saturday Night Slam Masters in like 1993.
Yeah.
I think the problem with him really is like the last few fighting games he's championed have not done well, like Street Fighter V or Marvel.
Street Fighter 4 did
that did well, but that was
10
years ago.
Right.
I mean, Street Fighter V did not do well, and neither did Infinite. Like, that did horribly. And he was supposed to be making some dungeon crawler called Deep Down, that
that
is
never
still technically in development, but it got announced in 2013.
Yeah, it never came out. Yeah,
yeesh.
That was a PS4 launch game.
Yeah,
It was supposed to be. Yeah.
And it's still not out. No, I mean, it's probably canceled at this point, but so I imagine this is him trying to save face a little. Like he might have got pushed out a little, but they're like letting him leave honorably instead of saying, "Hey, we fired him." But it's also a shame because that guy, he seemed nice, or he seemed fine on Twitter. He seemed like a pretty jovial guy, and he was pretty interested in interacting with the community, which is more than you can say for Sakurai or someone like that.
It feels more like he's okay, I think my time's kind of done here.
Yeah.
Let's just bow out gracefully for, I guess, I don't know that his reputation would ever have been really tarnished or whatever, but so he's more remembered in a better light, I guess.
Right, it's not like the Final Fantasy XIV guy when he got the boot.
Yeah, true. On that end. And EA kind of did something, I guess, you don't see very often. They actually blocked executives getting big raises.
Well, the stockholders of EA did.
Yeah, which you usually don't see. Normally it's something that the executives usually get their big raises and everything. And I mean, honestly, with what's going on, you'd think that maybe executives would just turn those down without having to have stockholders vote against that, but...
Well, it's I guess EA has actually done really well this year, financially. Right. But I think it was the CFO wanted a $10 million. I think the CFO gets $9 million, and they wanted $19 million. And it's you want 100% raise, more than 100% raise. And I think it was the CTO got one I think they get $6 million, and they
get $7 million, and it was going to double to 14.
And it's I mean, financial is one thing, but as a whole, EA is not a healthy company. And I'm just thinking, what makes you think you deserve this? Really?
Man, if you can get it passed and you don't have somebody, this would be a footnote in nobody's else's thing. If it got passed, it'd be kind of well, hey, I got it passed. I got my money,
I mean, that's what's happening at Activision and Blizzard right now, and Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
Blizzard is not happy about how much money that dude gets paid.
No, definitely not, and they shouldn't be. And that Bobby Kotick himself should be more realistic about what's going on and understand. Hey, you got people that are actually making these games, not even being able to afford a living, and you're sitting there making millions and millions and millions and millions. So
right.
Alright, and last thing here, it's pretty cool because he's pretty much gone didn't really want to, he only did one season of Doctor Who when Doctor Who made the, return for season 9. Christopher Eccleston, he's still,
No, season 1, he was the 9th Doctor.
Well, season 9 of the whole entire series, right? He's the 9th Doctor, okay, well.
He was they have this weird break in the continuity, but it's series 1. But he's the 9th Doctor.
Well, yeah, he's the 9th Doctor. 9th Doctor. I don't know exactly how many. I guess it would be really technically way more series because some of these Doctors played for multiple years. Yeah. So he only did the, as the 9th Doctor for 1 year. He's still I think of the ones that have. Since the major return in 2005, I think he still might be my favorite. And, you haven't really, you haven't really seen him do a whole lot with Doctor Who since then.
He did not leave on the best of terms, let's say that.
Yeah, no, he didn't. And he also didn't want to get pegged as Doctor Who, I think, as well. There's a stigma about it.
He also was battling an eating disorder at the time.
Yeah. And it's cool that he's apparently going to come back as the Doctor for audio series.
The guy is Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, well, as Christopher Eccleston is going to come back as the Doctor in an audio series to continue, I guess, the 9th Doctor adventures that ended after that one season. So that's cool.
Yeah. I'm excited. He wasn't my first Doctor, but he was like the main one. He's like what got people into the show, essentially, like a lot of people. He was good in the role. He's a good actor. I'm not gonna, obviously. It's a shame his role was so short. I mean, nothing against like David Tennant or Matt, the other guys, but he was a more interesting Doctor than some of the, like, David Tennant's Doctor was a little, I wouldn't say shallow, but he got better as he went along. But like the first season with him was a little wonky, let's say.
He definitely got some interesting stories and like some darker stories too.
Yeah. He was a more darker character for sure.
Yes.
I guess I'll be interested. Like they haven't really said what his stories are going to be, but it'll be interesting if they get Billie Piper to be back because she does a lot of those stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like a few episodes with like those two teaming up together, or maybe like him and Noel Clark, who's Mickey Smith.
Yeah, I wonder if she would.
I'm
come
sure
back. That'd be cool if she did.
It's funny because like I've read an interview with him recently where he was talking about like how he left under kind of a cloud, but he had like nothing but kind things to say about Billie Piper and like vice versa. Like I think they really did bond pretty well because that was like her first real big acting experience, so she was pretty nervous, and I think he kind of helped her into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be excited. Like I won't get these on LP, but I'll download them for sure, or buy them.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you're a big Doctor Who fan, like both of us are. So, yeah.
It'd be cool if he meets any of the other Doctors, like him having some adventure with Paul McGann. It'd be great.
Hey, let's do it. And we had Paul McGann come out, come back.
He does all the audio stuff. I mean, yeah. I think they're doing some Eighth Doctor and David Tennant like Doctor meeting or like having some weird episode together. So I'll give that a listen.
Do all three. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. He was supposed to be back in that 50th anniversary with the War Doctor, but he didn't want to do it. So that's why.
Yeah, that's the one that I was like hoping he would show up, and it's like no.
But I mean, I guess if he's signed to the role or to the fandom, there's some hope that he might come back for the 60th anniversary.
Hey.
Which unless I bet it's one or two stolen shots they did with the 50, the War Doctor episode.
Yeah, where like they showed him in episodes or whatever.
Yeah, but it was like cut together like clips of old stuff, so it looked really weird. He's like the one thing is like, he says like, for my next trick, and I'm like, I know that episode. Like,
yep.
They didn't do that many, so I know what that is.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get to discuss that here on the show if we both get to listen to it. And yeah, that's about it for this edition here. If you like what you heard, you can always hit subscribe and get us anytime we go into your feed there for a show. Subscribe Video Games to the Max, or to subscribe to the whole thing at W2 Network and get all of our shows. And then, of course, you can go rate us and review us on any of the places that you like to listen to us on. We're pretty much on everything now. So yeah, go check us out and give us a review if you'd like. And go check out that W2net.com. And until next time, see you later, everybody.
Later.